Tech4Good Southwest Florida. The meeting is on August 2nd, 2016, and today we're talking about Giving Tuesday and how to prepare for it. Giving Tuesday is a global giving day, and it's now in its 5th year, and it's always the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. So after Black Friday, after Small Business Saturday, and after Cyber Monday, it's time to think about giving. It was founded in 2012 by the 92nd Street Y in New York, together with the United Nations Foundations, and it's in its 5th year. It works with 40,000 plus partners in 71 countries participating, including small businesses, nonprofits, government agencies, and major corporations. Estimated of a 770% increase on online donations for the Tuesday after Thanksgiving since its inception. But it's also, so how do you start a Giving Tuesday? So here in the group, we have quite a few that already have participated in Giving Tuesday. Who participated? Robin, I know Jane did, Donna, Martin Cohn, yes, from the Naples Music Club, and I have an example there. So what was your experience? How often did you do this, and what did your organizations do as an activity on Giving Tuesday?
So I have multiple clients in the nonprofit sector, and we have done everything from asking for financial contributions to linking to our Amazon wish list, so people could pick out things like one of my clients does grief counseling, and so journals, which is something inexpensive, so you don't actually have to go to the store, you can just purchase it that way. We also did a volunteer orientation on Giving Tuesday to talk about, it was good timing, again, it's that time of the year that there are snowbirds down here, and so have them come in and learn about the organization and how they could contribute to it in that way.
Right.
So, and doing press releases, just doing your general publicity, PR about the event, and participating with the club and the Southwest Florida Gives.
Yeah, okay.
Did. I'm pretty sure it was
Didn't you do the literacy buddy?
Literacy buddy, okay, we did a Twitter campaign, that's right. And yes, it got a lot of notice, and that's all that we just need to spread the word.
Okay.
So everything helps.
Okay, yeah, thank you. And Donna?
At the time, I was looking for a family literacy academy, and what we did is, like the days before Giving Tuesday, took pictures of all the moms with their preschool-age children holding the sign that said, I give on Giving Tuesday. So we put all these pictures together, and on Monday night, I set them all up to publish like every 40 minutes from like 8 a.m. on Giving Tuesday. And I had to get them all in, so it went till 8 a.m. that evening. And even though we didn't make any money, because we didn't ask for anything, it was just our people that we serve saying we give on Giving Tuesday. It raised awareness in the community, and they're Hispanic moms, farm worker families, and it's pretty cool. I mean, it really raised awareness in the community. It was fun.
Yeah.
And everybody saw themselves out there. There were the likes we doubled the people following us on Facebook and on Twitter, which in itself was a big deal, especially when it came time to ask for donations.
Right, yeah.
And Harry Chapin did quite a bit.
Harry Chapin Food Bank, yeah, we had, and I'm probably need to cycle back on that. So if you now this year, what I heard and what our experience was that a lot of organizations that are here in Tech4Good actually use Giving Tuesday to dip a little bit into social media and kind of start out with let's try this thing and see how it works and learn from it. Now being in the 2nd and 3rd year, starting a Giving Tuesday campaign has certain steps like any other campaign, and these are like here on the slide, like you define your goals and objectives, of course. But if you just trying it out, yeah, you don't you should still kind of figure out a goal, because that's what you measure against. Kind of, like Donna said, we doubled our Facebook fans, we doubled our Twitter audience, and the financial and non-financial goals is certainly something to look at, because then you define your metrics. What can we measure? How can we figure it out? How do we know what success looks like? And then also determine your audience and message. And that goes back to Janet's earlier question and to Caitlin's earlier question, kind of how do I reach my audience through social media? Yeah. Do you want what's harder, get an audience to a different platform, or find the platform where they actually hang out already? Kind of, that's kind of the crucial thing. Then determines your resources. When Jane says she's now all alone and she needs to do it herself, or lonely, or Donna says, okay, I collected all beforehand, but I let technology do the send out on a schedule, so I could do my other work during the day. That's certainly something to consider. And then also have a launch and a post GivingTuesday plan, because when you have people that follow you and where you kind of raise awareness, kind of how do you harvest or how do you keep in touch? Yeah, social media, and GivingTuesday is a social media kind of event. Yeah, it mostly lives on Twitter or Instagram, Facebook nowadays, the last few years definitely as well. But social media is certainly not known for being very successful in raising money. Yeah, it's kind of the first one of the first touch points. And GivingTuesday is an occasion for you to broaden your platform, broaden your audience who get in touch with you. So when you look at your GivingTuesday goals, there is a separation with what people want to do with your organization. Yeah, the matures and baby, it's a generational different aspect of it. The matures and baby boomers, they give money. Yeah, they have that trained. They get a solicitation letter, the end of year kind of campaign. That's kind of in their minds, and via email, even via direct mail, they're still very successful. Gen X and millennials, they are more also getting involved with organizations like the social media campaigns, like volunteering. So you probably reach them much easier through that. But it's defining your goals is probably something you need to look at for on a generational platform. So you can give. So if you think about activities to for GivingTuesday, what could you ask for? What is the ask? It could be money, of course, but it could also be like Robin mentioned, they had a volunteer day. Yeah, or Jane as well, was become a literacy buddy, volunteer with our organization. This is what we do. Get to know us. Also give goods. Harry Chapin Food Bank, they had warehouse tours on the day, so they could drop off food and give your voice. That is what you do on social media is, okay, I want my friends to know about this organization. But when I say I'm not the one with the organization. I'm a friend of the organization, and I'm so happy with that organization that I want my friends to know about it. So I share information. I take that picture with I give to that organization. So I think focusing on funding through GivingTuesday is just one tiny segment of it, making the community richer and kind of get the footprint of GivingTuesday and in the local community is probably a more goal. You get a lot of tools on your hand when you think about GivingTuesday, and so you definitely need to create your own graphics. And in October, we are trying to get a branding expert here to help you with that and kind of walk you through some of the things. Create your own graphic, keep it square, yeah, for Instagram as well as other social media. It could be Pinterest, but then there are some tools like Canva. Who knows about Canva? Graphics tool, 1, 2. Canva.com lets you create social media graphics very easily with drag and drop text and graphics. Pablo as well. Pablo is a buffer.com tool that lets you upload one image and then you put overlay text on it. So very easy. MS Paint on any Microsoft computer still can help you with that. And open source is a tool that's called GIMP. But Giving Tuesday is going to be about graphics. Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Rich, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The first one you mentioned, I didn't catch the name of it.
Canva.
Canva.
Canva. C-A-N-V-A.
Oh, it's right there, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And I'm just going to scroll back to my first slide. Oh, I'm going forward, sorry. First slide. Where was it? At the first? Oh, here it is. nptp.us/T4G0802 is the link to the slide deck. It's kind of like there, so I'll leave it there for a moment. If you want to pick up the slides, I'm going to post it, of course, in the follow-up emails, but if you want to follow along. Photos and graphics. So, and then experiment, yeah. We talked a little bit before during lunch. Lunch, no, it was dinner that I talked about it. Was, okay, so if you want to help an organization to reach a broader audience, a like on Twitter is not gonna do it. Yeah, only a retweet will spread the word around. Yeah, a like, it's only if somebody likes something, only the person who posted it first will get a notification somebody liked it. But that post will not be seen by more people. That's a little bit different to Facebook, but in Twitter, if you want to spread the message and if you want to help somebody reach a broader audience and you say, okay, I want my 500 followers or 800 followers or 200 followers know about this, click on the retweet button. It's very easy. You just click on it and then it's retweeted and it shows up in your feed to your followers. Who's on Twitter? Okay, all right. Who has done a retweet?
Oh, I did that.
Okay, all right, cool,
Retweeted
good.
this.
Oh,
You retweet this, yes.
is it out
Good.
there right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's 9 of us in the Periscope.
All right, okay. Do we have any, and whoever is, well, we have 9 watchers on Periscope. Well, welcome to our little broadcast. I'm gonna do a little bit for the online audience. Give us your hearts, and if you have some comments, Mish, who's helping me kind of organize this, is gonna read your comments and maybe can then, oh, we have a comment, kind of, yeah, a kind of interruption, if you wanna do that, yeah. Okay, so,
Birgit, if anybody here has a Periscope account, you can also log in.
We've done that.
Yes, I
I
think
think
For
most
those
of us
who-
are in the room.
yeah, we can see who's on.
yeah, and you can actually tweet it. Yeah, there is somewhere, if you kind of swipe down, you can then broadcast it to your, send the link to your followers. And those who don't have a Periscope account can go to the Twitter account, T4G SWFL. T, number 4, G, SWFL. SWFL, yeah, is the Twitter account. So, retweet gets you forward,
Jane, join.
gets your Jane joined. Well, welcome, Jane.
Been around a while.
And yeah, and if you wanna, and then in Facebook, to broaden that, and we're gonna do this in September, is you tag people and you like it, but it's also, so it's in Facebook is like, comment, share. All is feeding the algorithm. So it's good to like because then other people kind of see it too. Yeah, Facebook puts it in the algorithm, Twitter does not. So you have this climax on on the sharing, kind of like and then the comment and the share. And Instagram, it's all about hashtags. If you post something on on Twitter, don't forget the hashtags. That's how people travel Instagram, is with a lot of hashtags. And sometimes when I post pictures on Facebook, they're actually coming through with a lot of hashtags, but because I'm using Instagram to post through Facebook. But that's kind of beyond that. We cover that next time.
I do that though, that's really easy, because you just have to put it in one place and then it goes.
Right. We now have 9. Wonderful. That's great. So what is SWFLGives? Robin started talking about it. Is the idea is most of the 80% of the organizations that actually participated are local organizations that do good in their local communities. They're not the national ones, but they are the smaller and middle nonprofits that are just very focused on the local one. And with a community like Naples that is kind of a little hesitant in terms of getting on the social media, I think we need all the help that we can get for each other to, SWFLGives is initiatives from Tech4Good Southwest Florida, where those who participate will be kind of also retweeted, and we connect with the local media. Robin did a phenomenal work last year when we had quite some attention from the local media. I think Gulf Shore Business Live had it, as well as the Tampa Bay paper picked it up, because they didn't have any local in their community, but they wanted to get everybody in there. So better is together. In 2015, we had 16 organizations participating, small ones as well as big ones. We had 465 tweets in 1 month, posts with 50 users using the hashtag SWFLGives together with GivingTuesday. We reached about 130,000 people and had about 853,000 impressions, which is pretty impressive, I think. We will do this year as well. So what were the examples that local organizations did? On the screen you see on the left-hand side, yeah, the Naples Music Club, they were doing the ask for donation to fund music lessons for kids in need, and Martin was posting a lot of pictures of kids with violins, and so there was quite a few things in there. Crew also did the kids part, with donate to Crew to get kids to experience science in the great outdoors. And then the Early Learning Coalition, Southwest Florida, with the volunteer program. I'm a literacy buddy where people hold up the signs for that. And this is actually, on the right-hand side, is actually how a participating organization will be displayed in SWFLGives. Yeah, it's kind of the title, a logo, a little description what the organization does, then all the social platforms, and the donate button, as well as a contact address and what the GivingTuesday activity was. So we had a form up where the organizations could fill that out, and we then generated the list of organizations that participated. So this year we join us. These were the 16 organizations. Was the Early Learning Coalition, Hope for Haiti, the American Cancer Society, the Lighthouse of Kalia, Naples Music Club, Salvation Army, Boys and Girls, Teddy Bears for the Troops, FCDL. That was actually a Tampa organization that was part of it. Then Harry Chapin Food Bear, MP Tech Projects, Crew, Everglades Wonder Garden, Project Help, Hope, and the Lee Memorial Health System Foundation. So it's kind of big ones, small ones, little ones, kind of starting together. Registration will start September 15. Put it on your calendar. Deadline is October 7th. That's 3 days after our October meeting. Yeah, so, and then we do the press release. Is that early enough? November 29th?
The only magazine that has a longer lead time is Naples Illustrated, but all other media should be fine.
Okay.
And Birgit, do we have a link to the webinar or the presentation that GivingTuesday gave last week? Is that on?
Right, it's on the resources, yes. Yeah. So resources, GivingTuesday has new tools. They have a complete toolkit for the whole social GivingTuesday campaign. They have mayoral proclamation toolkit if you ever want to, kind of the mayor of Naples, if you want to pursue this. I won't. The sample press releases, PR toolkit, sample emails, social media toolkit. Unselfie is kind of that, that's kind of the hashtag all over GivingTuesday. And it's also the 2015 data project report is also available on the GivingTuesday website. Then there is a webinar coming up on August 18th at, I think it was noon. Amplify your GivingTuesday campaign with major givers and online ambassadors. And then there is the live stream that is now canned, but it happened on June 11th. The GivingTuesday organization had a GivingTuesday Best Practices Summit 2015. And it's about 5 hours of video. They chopped it up and then put it into smaller things there. Then Deborah Askenazi, who is a marketing specialist, also put on the board of N10. She did a slide deck on planning for your best GivingTuesday yet. Certainly some ideas. And then Whole Whale is a consulting company that has 29 ideas for GivingTuesday in 2016. And then it's also the link for SWFLGives. We have the list of all the resources that we will provide as well. Okay, so that was all about GivingTuesday. I would say we kind of wait with the questions until I'm done with the Google Analytics. And then, because I just want to get through this and have it done. Do we have any questions from the audience there? You have 9, 12. Wow, yes, 12 people watching. Yeah. How is the sound coming? You don't hear it, right? Yeah, right. Well, of course you turn it down, but anybody who's not in the room watching it, well, it's not bad. Yeah.
A little delay.
Yeah, of course. There's a little delay. Yeah.
Up to 13.
Up to 13.
We're looking for quality.
Of course. Yeah. Well, it's the first one.
Restaurant choice.
It's the first one that we did. So, okay, Google Analytics. Who has the Google Analytics set up on their website? David?
My company.
Your company, yes.
Somebody else manages it.
Yeah, right. Have you ever looked at it?
Yes.
Okay. So what information do you get from it? Or do...
Basically, like who, like how many we get on the splash page,
That's it.
how long are they staying on the site, if they're going deeper into the site, things like that.
Okay. So, Jane, you haven't set it up on your website? Okay. Definitely need to work on that. Do you have it set up? It's the kind of, I don't know, kind of the non-verbal communication here from the seats further down. I don't know. Okay, so yeah, first of all, okay, if you set up Google Analytics and you go to your reports, this is how a dashboard looks.
You need a Gmail account?
You need a Google account. Yeah, so this is set up that I first go through what you can learn from Google Analytics and then show you how you can get on it. So the dashboard shows you, this is the dashboard and that's your traffic on your website from July 2nd to August 1st, so yesterday. And then in orange, that's the blue line, and the orange line is the previous period in comparison to it. So you see, and then the numbers in red and in green shows you with one glance, okay, we get some additional some green numbers, but what are the red numbers kind of thing. So it says, okay, we have sessions, and you're all squinting a bit, so you probably can read it. So it's a session, I don't know how we have a better thing. Yeah, so we have sessions, we have users, and then we have page views. These are the three kind of things. A session is somebody comes to your website and stays there and looks at different pages, views pages. So it's page views per sessions is kind of a metric that you're gonna look at. Users is how many users can have many sessions. But one user can have multiple sessions throughout the month, right? And then, but there's also new user sessions. So the audience divides up between users that have been there before and new users. And so the page views here went down 10%. The pages viewed per session went down 6.8%. And the average session duration was 1 minute and went down to 47 seconds. So this is obviously, and the bounce rate was 72%, 73% is now 80%. So what happened is quite a lot of new users there, but they didn't hang out a lot on your website. Okay, shouldn't be a high bounce rate is something when you amplify a lot or promote a lot on your social media. People click on it, come read the article, and then are going back to their social media stream. So high bounce rate is not necessarily negative, just kind of make sure that you don't lose them. So that's your dashboard. And then you can drill down into geolocation. So where do they all come from? Now, if you're here in Naples, most of your audience will probably come from Florida, from the United States, and then go out. You could actually get a map there. New versus returning, we had this. You can also see browser. So these are the numbers, now a little bit bigger, from a different site, I guess. Because there are now 340,000 users. That's quite a traffic there. What's the bounce rate? What do you think it could be?
Increase in usage or visits or increase in
No.
leaving?
Bounce rate, leaving. Leaving is good. It's the person comes in, the same page is the landing page is the same page as the exit page. So they're tracked. So they only looked at one page and went off it very fast. They did not look at any other pages. It's a bounce rate. Okay. So in here the bounce rate is around 60%. So 60% of the traffic comes and goes from the same page. Yeah. The page, what you can see is kind of average session duration. Depending on your content, if your content only needs to be, can be read in 2 minutes on that page, you're fine. But if it's 2 minutes, it could also be something that your page load speed is too low, too long, that they come and go from the same page because it's not loading. So there are multiple things that you can gain from, but that's kind of the engagement on it. You could also learn about your demographics. So this is from a website that has an event going that kind of builds up all year. So that's why the spikes here in July and then going down again throughout the event. And that's, with a different, you can, I don't know how Google does it, but they know kind of the age groups of your audience. Yeah. And this one here is for all ages. That's a very good event. It's for all ages, right? And kind of, I like that. You could also see your audience divided up in coming through desktop, mobile, or tablet. And for this particular example, mobile, where 40% of the visitors were mobile, yeah, last month. This month, it went up to 47%, almost 50% of the traffic was through mobile. And that has kind of some consequences. Tablet actually went out 4 times or 5 times, from 500 to almost 4,000 people coming in through tablet. That's up down here. Yeah. So you see, first is the percentage of your audience, and then you see also the percentage of the change from one month to the next. And the bounce rate here, also 56 to 51%. Yeah, so. But that's seems to be a different site, but okay. You also can see a user flow on your Google Analytics. And so you have a starting page. So 15,000 came in, 15,000 sessions came in on the homepage. Half of them, 8.7 thousand, dropped off from the homepage back. But 6.3 sessions went 1 page further, and the next page was the calendar page, the events page. Yeah. And that's and then with 1.8 thousand, 700 went to the performers page, 600 went to the schedule of events, and then so and so. And 2,300 went to 80 other pages on the website. So the deeper your website is, yeah, some websites don't even have more than 8 pages. So, but then, yeah. And then you see, okay, some people came in through, 4,000 people came in as a landing page through the schedule of events. And they went then to the homepage. Yeah, so on. Yeah. So that's pretty amazing. Oh, I'm sorry, got the wrong way. Here we are. Yeah. And you can, this is only a snapshot of a certain things, but if you have a broader, I can imagine that the Y, for instance, has 6 or 7 different sections where people can come in or that you need to advertise on or promote. Yeah, so you have different entry points for each of your audiences. And you can follow up on those and have different, also different campaigns for different audiences. Yeah. So that was all on the page, what's happened. We had audience, we had behavior on the page, and then the last group is acquisition. Where do they come from? And where do you need to emphasize if this page here has 52% of the people come through organic search. So they went to Google, they went to Bing, they went to Yahoo, looked something up, keyword, and came through that. 23% came directly. So they either punched in the URL or they followed an email that wasn't tagged as a campaign or something like that. almost 12% came through the social channels, Facebook, Twitter, and others. And then referrals. Referrals are people coming through links from other websites. This was an event, a large event in a certain area, so the local paper picked it up, and most of the referrals actually came through the paper. So if you have a larger audience that kind of, and the paper does a good job in putting actually a link into the article, they come through that website too. Can I flame? I don't have a call coming in. No.
There was a comment back. Can I flame?
No, you can't. Okay. So, and others is just kind of, picked it up differently. So that's, and every time you see, these are just overviews. So if you want to know who the referrals were, you click on the referral link and then you see a list of the pages that have a link on your site. So you can actually go back and go through that and say, okay, if that page, do I have to comment there? Can I comment there? To kind of thank me or whatever, or share it on your social channels to kind of give back to them. Okay, some love. There are other things you can do when you know who referred people to you, in terms of making the connection a little bit more stable and not just about that particular event or that occasion or that campaign that you have. Yes, question.
Also for social?
Social as well. You don't know who.
Facebook?
In Google Analytics, you only see those that are on social that actually came to your website. Yeah. So to connect with those, and they don't come in with tagging, okay, this is Colleen Thiessen. Yeah, you only, so if your goal is on your social media to get people to your website to find your donate button, yeah, that's kind of the ultimate goal, sooner or later, you will know what your conversion rate could be. Yeah, so if you had people on that post on Facebook that kind of links to your website, you had 500 likes and 20 shares, and only 2 clicks actually to the page, yeah, kind of tells you the conversion rate. Yeah. And that people share sometimes without actually looking at the article. They just like the headline or the picture. Yeah. It's kind of that flyby social, and they want to get through their Facebook. Yeah, they don't have time to read things. Yeah, so but it's certainly interesting to follow through. So the Google Analytics is something only you find on your website, that only tracks traffic on your website. If you want to do the analytics on Facebook and on Twitter, they provide this for you, and also you can match up then. If you had a post on Twitter with a link in there, Twitter tells you how many people clicked on the link. You should see that mirrored on your website in your Google Analytics. If they say 8 people clicked and you have 8 clicks here, that kind of matches up.
So
Yes.
when you click on the social link here,
Yeah.
you only see X coming from Facebook, so many coming from Twitter, but you don't know who they are.
Right. Yeah. You see that they came. You also see when they came. Yeah, like the date. You could. I have not seen yet drill it down to the hour. Yeah, that used to be in there, but I haven't seen it lately. When I say it used to be there, that's kind of 6 years ago. Yeah, I went back kind of through some of my presentation, and I still have the hours kind of in. I didn't have that, but yes, you click on. Also, same with organic search. You click on it, on that link here. And we can certainly go out there and kind of look at some stuff if you wanted to, but it might get us past our line here. But when you click on it, you see how many come from Google, Yahoo, Bing. Or if there are search engine in there where you didn't have any effort, but all of a sudden you get clicks from them. Yeah. Direct doesn't give you anything more. Social gives you Facebook, Twitter, Google+, whatever's there, Instagram, Pinterest. Pinterest is pretty good in driving traffic to the sites. And referral gives you the website and the page where the link is on. So if a newspaper writes an article and sends people to, you get the link to the newspaper there. Okay. All right. Well, that is not a very good, it's behavior again, but it also gives you the most visited pages. So the top 10 pages visited is if you have kind of a blog that on a regular basis publishes, your audience actually tells you what they like to read. Yeah, depending, they pick it up, and then okay, that's the topic of the month, where the first 10 pages that they actually went there on the, so give them more of that.
So if you put a small video up, does that tend to spike it a little bit on any page?
A small video, you didn't
Like
think of,
under a 2-minute video.
yeah, it definitely will. A lot of people just want to see the video. If there's a video, they click on it. But you, what I would suggest is that if you have a video, put them up on YouTube and then embed it with the tools YouTube provides or your website provides, embedded on your page. Because YouTube has much better analytics in terms of how many people see it and these kind of things, that Google Analytics is not picking up from your website. They only see they came on that page where that video is. Yeah, and your server. So if you upload it to your own website server, you will have some trouble there because you need bandwidth, you need a lot of storage, and it kind of throttles it a bit. Yeah, and YouTube does the streaming much better on top of everything else. But yes, video definitely, like anywhere else, kind of helps you with that. So if you're a nonprofit who has different kind of advocacy aspects, yeah, and okay, we always get traffic on this particular topic, but we are not getting traffic on the other part. Yeah, you might want to combine things on one page so they can kind of be moved around a bit. And if you want something to be seen faster, you might want to rearrange your homepage to kind of see it, so people can kind of click on it from the homepage. So, but that Google Analytics gives you kind of a behavior. Even if you do surveys of your user, once in a while you question your donor about certain things, or your supporters, what should be changed on the website, what you like on the website, kind of things. You can also proof that. I love that particular content is there, or I love the slider kind of thing, but nobody goes to the second image on the slider. Yeah, so you kind of can decision-based data. No, what is that? Data-based decisions on website is certainly something you can better do there. What else? So, how do we get started? Yes, you're right, Mark. You need a Google account. Doesn't have to be a Gmail account, but it needs to be a Google account. And once you have that, you go to google.com/analytics and you get to this screen. And it has a 3-step process. It says sign up for Google Analytics, add the tracking code, and learn about your audience. So you click on the sign up, and then it gets you to another form that says new account, and you fill in the blanks. Yeah, the account name is something that the only thing that is not your own wording that you need to know is the website itself, the URL. So setting up your account, the account name is probably your organization. Yeah, the website name is probably also your organization, but the URL of the website, that's the one that Google wants. That's the only thing that they work with. So if you have a HTTPS website, you need to tell it it's HTTPS. What's HTTPS website? Secure. Thank you very much. Secure, they said. It's the SSL. It's on SSL, secure socket layer. So it's Google is going to change the ranking on that, and because it wants to have people going to secure websites. But if you don't have it, don't put the S in there, because then it will not track anything. Okay. So you fill that out, you track the category, you do the time zone. That's important for you, because you don't want to track Pacific time when you're in Eastern time. And then the next page, it gives you a tracking ID. And depending how your website is set up, you need either only the tracking ID or the whole code that's in there. And if you don't do code, you need somebody to do this for you. So who has a WordPress site? Okay. WordPress has several plugins that you can install, and you just need to use the tracking ID. Any other content management system probably has a way to add the tracking to the content management system and then automatically put it up on every page. The tracking code needs to be on every page that you want to have tracked. It seems to be logical, but yeah, sometimes it's missing. That piece is missing, that it needs to be on every page. And if you don't find a page kind of listed, check it if the code is actually on there. They normally put it into a header or in the footer of it, so it's one place to put it, and then it will replicate that's the nature of a content management system, that you only put it in one place and then it's replicated on each page. But if you don't do it in WordPress with the 2 or 3 very good plugins that are there, connect with your web designer, web developer, or IT people to kind of put the tracking code in. And that's pretty much it. On the tracking, on the Google Analytics. And I have some resources. Did I have the resources on? Yeah, here. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. Wasn't sure if I talked about it. Resources for learning more about Google Analytics. Google has some very nice trainings up there. That's the link to it. Moz is a SEO company that does a lot of PageRank kind of testing, benchmarking, and they have an absolute beginner's guide for Google Analytics. Whole Whale, we saw them also on the GivingTuesday resource page. They have how to set up Google Analytics goals. Okay, we talk about goals just in a minute. And then in advanced is how to measure social media ROI using Google Analytics. So, talk about goals in Google Analytics. Your goal with traffic, your goal on the internet is not necessarily get traffic from everybody. There are a lot of people that you don't want to do business with, or you don't want to they are not interesting to you. So you want to funnel them through through your web page to actually get to some goals. One would be, what could be a goal on your website that you want people to kind of convert to?
Sign up for your e-newsletter.
Very good. Bing, bing. That's one goal. Yeah. Another goal would be
Hit the donate button.
hit the donate button. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So we have 2. There are others I could think about. Sign up for
newsletters. I was checking the thermostat.
Thank you so much for playing. Okay, another goal we had. Yes.
Check out events.
Event registration. Yes,
Right,
of course.
right.
Yes.
The most hit page on our website is the schedule of classes.
Right. So, but the goal for that is actually registrations. Yeah. You don't want people just to look at it. You want people to come, right? So the goal would be the ultimate measuring conversion goal is, and then Jane probably would have the sign up for volunteers.
Yes.
Yeah, is also a goal, an action event or a page. And Google allows you to set those up. And then in your reports, you see, then it gets really interesting because you could have very low traffic from your email newsletter, but you have the most page views on them and you have the most conversion on them. So we work with a client who has a lot of traffic from all over the world, but email is still the 8 minutes of people browsing the website after they come from the email newsletter, and then the request for information is also 10% in comparison to 5% from the searches. So search is still converting very good, yeah, and it's certainly the numbers giver, but so all of a sudden your traffic becomes a little bit more specific to you. Yeah, are these people? Do we know this? Do we want to kind of are they our target audience? Yeah, how do you know this? Yeah. Okay, and then you can kind of follow back. Okay, what did we do to get them, and do more of those. Yeah. So the goal part is really the essential part. So that's your homework. When you do start doing the Google Analytics, it takes a month or so that you get comparable data. Yeah, like compare this month against the previous month, compare this year against previous year. It takes a while to build up that information, but also think about your goals and try to measure them.